Alright guys, this is the first ever episode of me doing the youth fight breakdown series on my YouTube channel, Coda's Fighting Channel. And what we're going to do, we're going to break down Daniel Johnson's fight September 28th, 2019 in Attitude MMA. And now this was just a great performance by Daniel Johnson. It was a very dominant performance and a unanimous decision win over Isaiah Short. So we're going to start the video right here.
Contest is scheduled for 3 rounds in the schoolboy division. Introducing first in the blue corner.
So there's Isaiah Short, Daniel Johnson.
Fight number 7, we have Daniel Johnson versus Isaiah Short. 1-0 Isaiah Short versus 0-1 Daniel Johnson.
This is a very
Daniel
interesting
Johnson
way
definitely was dominating the stage.
So this is a very interesting way to start this fight. So as you can see, Daniel Johnson just doesn't come straight. Both of them actually, they don't come straight. They just kind of go into a little circle. They just go and they rotate right here. So this is very interesting exchange right here. Isaiah goes for the glove touch, goes for the leg kick, and Daniel's wise to it. Good reflexes. So he just grabs a leg and goes up behind the arm. That's just a great move by Daniel Johnson. If you try to fake the glove touch, go for a leg kick, it's usually a great move, but Daniel was wise to it. He drives him against the cage right here, trying to get the takedown. Almost gets him down, but Isaiah is able to reverse position right here and try to get an underhook and throw shots to the body and score points. So this was the most amount of control I've seen from Isaiah Short in this fight. So Isaiah Short, he has an underhook right here. I believe it looks like an underhook. Just take a look right here. So look, he has an underhook there. I believe he looks like he has an underhook on the other side, or an overhook. But Daniel Johnson is being controlled right now. So Daniel, he's trying to pummel. You can see this arm right here. He's trying to go underneath that arm right there. He's trying to pummel. So he looks like he gets it there. But then immediately, Isaiah Short locks his hands and tries to reverse position again. So this is a very, very back and forth time in the fight. It seemed like Daniel Johnson was getting controlled early on. So right here, Daniel has him, but because the hands are locked in this lateral position, this is a lateral, is what we call in wrestling. It looks like. Yeah, it's definitely a lateral, but it's not over-under, it's locked hands. So then what Isaiah uses it to reverse position. And what he does, he reverse position, puts him against the cage, and gets control. So now he can throw shots to the body. Again, continuously throw shots. And as you can see, Daniel, he's trying to bend his knees. He's trying to get his arms underneath. Because if he gets his arms underneath, he can get a bear hug. He can take him down. Which is pretty much what he tried to do later in this fight, and he succeeded. So he tries. Isaiah's got good control. Good underhooks. Good lateral. Good transitioning in the clinch. This is the cage. So this looks like lots of dominance here. And you can see right here. See that hand right there? That's Daniel Johnson's hand. What he's doing, he's framing his arm against his face. So that's trying to create distance. Very good move by Daniel Johnson. Also, Isaiah's got an underhook there. So moving. Shots to the body. Over under. Right there. Daniel's pushing this wrist down. Trying to control the punches. Now, right there, you can see Daniel is beginning to get that overhook. Instead of just leaving it there, instead of just leaving his arm there, he's getting an overhook. That's giving him more control. So he's trying to come out the back here. As you can see, he's creeping out the back there. Creeping out the back and trying to push him forward. That's a very good move. But then, since it's not working, immediately, Daniel just shifts his hips. So right there. A lot of time has gone by in the clinch in this first round. But then immediately, out of nowhere, Daniel Johnson shifts his hips. Gets away. So let's see that. Boom. Very, very good move by Daniel Johnson. It was set up by the overhook and the framing. Very, very good move. So here we are, back in the stand-up. Daniel throws a leg kick. Boom. Misses. Now we have 42 seconds left in the fight. Left in the round. So we're continuing here on the stand-up. Daniel being wise. He's leaving that arm out there. Creating distance. Managing distance. Very smart. So let's see what strike he goes for. Isaiah Short goes for another leg kick. Now, if I was Isaiah Short, I wouldn't really focus on leg kicks, considering what happened in the beginning of the fight, where he got taken down. And being taken down is not really what you want. But still, I guess maybe it was because Isaiah Short was able to control Daniel in the clinch, and he had a little bit of confidence in the grappling, so he can chop his legs. Now, this right here was a big mistake. Now, look at this right here. Isaiah goes, there's a jab, and he comes rushing in. You can see his wide stance right there. 33 seconds left of the fight. He goes in, throws 1-2. So 1-2 to the body, it looks like. 1-2. Boom. Daniel is wise. He's taking the punches, trying to counter back. And then immediately, Daniel gets a bear hug. Great move by Daniel. Then Daniel. Now, you can take somebody down easily from here. All you got to do is grab their hips and squeeze and drive. And that's exactly what Daniel does here. He grinds. And look at him right here. Instead of just standing straight, you can see he puts his leg behind Isaiah's leg. So that's very, very smart. Now, a mistake here by Isaiah, what you'd want to do, he'd want to try to get his hips out. He'd want to try to create distance like Daniel was doing earlier in the clinch. So, now that that's not happening, Daniel's able to lift him a bit and drive him to the ground. Look at that right there. He lifts a little bit, then drives to the ground. Very good takedown by Daniel Johnson. So now we track on the ground. Isaiah tries immediately to reverse position, but Daniel's not having it. He's on his side, but he's able to get back up. There we go. Now he's in mount position. This is a very, very good position. Very, very dominant position. If you're in this position on top, it's a very good position. It's kind of controversial almost, though, in MMA and other sports because of how you can just hip up, and some people can just easily get pushed off that way. But as you'll see in this fight, here's another thing I have to point out right here. I believe I saw something. I don't think I noticed that. I think that's Isaiah Short's arm. So that's another thing. I didn't even notice that before. So Daniel's trapping his arms and his legs underneath his legs. So that's extremely dominant position. So, but right here, he hips up. But look, Daniel Johnson is able to stay on top. It's that hip control, and he's able to just flow there. If you're able to flow there and feel confident in that position, that's very, very, very good. So, he's on top. Isaiah's trying to hit him there. Hit him from bottom. There's not much you can do. He's trying to move. Now, look at this right here. This is a very, very good move by Daniel Johnson. Great binding the legs. You can't hip up without using your legs and bridging. So, if you can't hip up without using your leg, if you have to hip up using your legs, then grapevine in the legs, and it's pretty much just a thing to use to control the legs. So he can't hip up, he can't turn you, you're on top, dominating. So he's controlling. Isaiah's not a bad grappler too, so that's the end of round one.
Round number one is in the books. Make some noise!
And I believe I heard the commentators say that Daniel Johnson won that round, which is, it's kind of hard a round to score for me, because it's not a full scoring system where it's broken down by rounds. It's a total scoring system. So, 2-point takedown, punches are points, and 3 punches on each position in grappling. So, we're here, they're in their corners. So, it's hard to say because of that clinch position. It seemed like Isaiah was throwing a lot of shots there, but I would have to say that it looked like Daniel won that round. So, we trek on to round 2. Here we go. Here we go. Similar start here. They both move this circular pattern. And they circle around. Daniel Johnson's a little bit more confident now. He's hopping around. And now, I believe it looks like Isaiah was told to pressure more or something. But Daniel throws a leg kick. He circles. Isaiah tries to pursue Daniel. Daniel's trying to escape. Boom, he gets out, circles out. Isaiah has a very stalking posture. Daniel's very good circling there. Very smart. 1-2 leg kick. That's a very, very good combination in my opinion. So that's a very, very good combination by Isaiah Short. Let me see that. 1-2 leg kick. The leg kick was a bit slow and a bit telegraphed. Now look at this position you're in. Daniel, if you're in this position with anybody, I don't care who it is, you're going to the ground. You're in trouble. Especially with Daniel Johnson, who just took you down and dominated you in round 1. So, Isaiah doesn't want to be here. Isaiah is smart. Isaiah is very wise, very good at grappling, it seems. So, Daniel gets him here, push, and then Isaiah is able to turn his hips and get against the cage. But Daniel, once again, turns him right here and takes him down. Look at this. Boom. Gets him here. And takes him down. Great job by Daniel Johnson for that takedown. That was a beautiful takedown. Alright, now Daniel is in half guard right here, but since Isaiah's legs were unlocked in half guard, now Daniel has mount again. So he's trying to close the distance there, trying to get up. It's a very difficult position to get up. As you can see, Isaiah's headgear is messed up now on his face. Now that could play a crucial part in this fight. The headgear is just something that messes you up sometimes if it gets in the way. So right here, you see the leg is... The legs are not grapevine. Isaiah is just on his back right now. He's trying to move. Trying to move. Look at that. He's posting. Posting right on Isaiah's face. Now why would you do this? To create space to throw ground and pound. Now you can get more... you can throw ground and pound from very close, but you can get much more power from a distance. And that's why throwing punches in stand-up is much easier than throwing punches in the ground. You can see, you can still throw punches on the ground. They're not doing anything to Daniel. And then right here, you could see that Daniel's leg is being wrapped up by Isaiah on the bottom. So right now we have that. Boom, boom. This is a very good ground and pound strike in my opinion. The hammer fist from the side, just boom, boom. Very good strikes. Very good strikes. Now, Daniel's trying to pass. And Isaiah's trying to get up. Now, this right here is one of my favorite submissions from top. The head and arm triangle. What he does, he puts his head behind the elbow, crosses it, and tries to squeeze. What that does, I can put somebody out. Now, this was a good job by Isaiah to get out. You could see. Immediately, he realized that. He turns, tries to get his arm out. Tries to get out. Turns his back. And goes back to his back. Very, very good by Isaiah. Let's replay that real quick. Alright, there you go. It looked very deep for a second. Very deep steer. Very deep. Now he turns the other way. Turning. Trying to get out. Now he's out. But he's out of the choke, but that does not mean he's out of danger. Look at this right here. Daniel pins his arms with his knee and his hand. Getting your arm pinned to the mat is something you don't ever want to be done to you. And it's just a very, very dominant position. So, here we are. We continue. His arm's getting pinned. Boom. This is a very interesting position. He tries to get out. He gets out. Then immediately, Daniel goes for the front headlock. Now from here, you can hit guillotines, you can hit darces, you can hit anacondas, or you could just hit him with gator roll, hit him with anything. There's a lot of things that you can hit people with in the front headlock. And right there, boom, he's trying to spin around the back, control the arm. So you can see, look at this. So Daniel tries to spin around. The way it's stopped, the way the spin around is stopped, is from Isaiah's arm right there. He's stopping his legs, stopping his hips. So then look at this right here. This is a great job right here by Daniel. What he does, he controls that arm right there, controls the arm, and he's got his leg up there to post and is ready to really hip up and turn him over. And that's exactly what he does. He turns Isaiah over and you can see his face. It's not a fun position. It's not a fun position, not fun ever to be grinded and controlled like this. So then right there, he throws him. This is one of my favorite exchanges in this fight. So Isaiah thinks he gets out, but because of the motion, the circular momentum by Daniel Johnson, he just goes flying. He goes flying. He's in this position. Now, a lot of people just fall to the back, but he's got his arm there. He got his knees bent. He stands right up, and Daniel just comes running at him. And he shoots, and he can't stop it. He just can't stop it. It's too fast. 1 minute you're spinning around, then you're standing, and somebody's running at you, and they go on your legs. It's very, very hard to stop, and Daniel Johnson just put him in a whirlwind of things, and he couldn't defend. Now, right here, a lot of people's mistake here is they try to lift people with their back. But Daniel Johnson is smart. He bends his knees and uses his leg and his back to power, and he locks his hands in there for the double. So he's got it there. Boom. Stands right up with him and spins it to the side. He uses his head. And I've done this takedown so many times. It's one of my favorite ways to finish a double. And look at this. This does not even seem real. This looks like a piece of art. If you just turn it, it's a masterpiece of a takedown. It was just executed beautifully. He does it. Boom. Slams him right on the ground. And when you get in this takedown, this is not something you want to be in. You want to be doing it. So, we continue. Daniel right here. He controls that leg. Goes right on the leg, controls it. And you can see Isaiah's face. It's very, very, very hard to stop these takedowns. He's not even against the cage. What you want to do, if you're on bottom getting taken down, you want to go to the cage and almost use the cage as the thing to get up. Now, Daniel's got him in this position. He's sitting up, but he's got the leg. Khabib does this a lot. He gets the leg, and he steps over. But instead of locking the legs like Khabib does, Daniel goes right into mount. Again, a very dominant position. Now, it's very hard to escape from this position when it's just like this. Many people would want to sit on the cage, but the people on top want to make sure they're off the cage. So you got him here, just dominance and control. So right here, you don't even have to throw strikes here. You just squeeze his head. He does not want to be in the cage anymore. This is just a master performance by Daniel Johnson. A great performance. He postures up, posts, throws more ground and pound. You can see Isaiah, he's trying to get his leg out. He's trying to do everything he can. Trying to use everything he can. There's 10 seconds left in the round 2. And the fight is not near over yet. So he's ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Oh, yes. This right here. This motion right here is great. So he's ground and pounding up right on the chest. And then he turns. Uses right where he was sitting. And that catches Isaiah off guard. And you could see that space in between the punch, the top of the punch, and the stomach. That right there is something of nightmares if you're involved. It's like swinging a hammer. It's horrible. Now look, he doesn't even get up. Like the ref is actually asking if he's okay to continue. I don't even know. But there you go. 2 rounds of dominance by Daniel Johnson. That second round was so dominant by Daniel Johnson. The first round it could go either way. And this third round, about to see. So, if you're a coach for Isaiah Short, I'm probably saying he's got to get a finish, but he's got to stay calm. He's got to go in there. He's got to do it right. And if you're the coach for Daniel Johnson, tell him to keep doing what he's doing. Tell him to get grappling. And then this is a good coach right here. Law school MMA, great place to train. I've never been there myself, but I can tell you, it's great. They've got a couple guys in the UFC, such as Ryan Spann. And look at that. They're demonstrating the head and arm triangle right there. Working on it. So, Daniel's ready to get top position again and keep doing what he's doing in this fight. Dominating. And this is pretty much has been the story of the fight for the last 2 rounds. And now round 3, we're going to see if it's any different. I've seen this fight many times. Right here. Again, they start out the same way. Daniel, they go and they touch hands. Showing respect and sportsmanship. Good thing. And now they're hopping around. Boom. Very smart. Very, very smart by Daniel Johnson. You hop a little closer this time, knowing that he's going to throw the leg kick from the first 2 rounds. He's been doing that. So now, boom. He's ready for it. He steps back and grabs it. It's just a great move. Great thing to do. Then he goes in, pulls. There you go, right there. Goes for the body lock again. And Isaiah Short is not trying to create distance, but it's understandable because you're getting rammed against the cage by somebody else. So, boom, he's got you. Trying to pummel underneath, but he doesn't do it in time. Tries to pummel under. You can see that right there. It goes from around his head to underneath, trying to get here. At this point, in my opinion, I would say Isaiah should just get his hips out and try to post and try to create distance. But instead he tries to pummel under, which is understandable. But still, that doesn't change the fact he got taken down. Now Daniel's back trying to take him down. Isaiah is really good at takedown defense. Now he pressures too. He pressures Daniel. But look at that. Daniel changes it. Look at this. Let's just watch this in full speed. He tries. This was a great thing by Daniel Johnson. He gets pressured. His leg is being tangled up. So he steps this leg. He steps the back leg. And he changes it. Changes the momentum. And puts it against him. And then boom. He's on his back again. Now you might be in half guard, but it's fine. He gets right back out because of Isaiah's attempt. Now look at this right here. In wrestling, you never want to reach back. It's understandable. It's MMA, not wrestling. So right now, Johnson has his back. There's 1:38 left in the fight. And at this point, there's not much that Isaiah Short can do. The only thing he can do is try to get a submission off his back, it seems. Or try to get out. And try to steal the round somehow. But this position right here, it's so hard to get out of when you've got somebody who understands how to stay in mount, how to move their hips around, how to stay controlled. So right there, he's attempting still. Nothing's working. Daniel goes for the grapevine again. Good grapevine defense, but still. You can either defend the grapevine or get grapevined if somebody's trying to. And very, very hard. Looks like Daniel's trying to step off the side. Doesn't work. Now Daniel's on top. And I was talking earlier about space. I was talking earlier about power and space. Now look at this space. This is much more than we've seen. This is a lot of distance right here. And plus you got gravity on your side. This is, if this lands, it's going to be a hard punch. That kind of shot right there, it's something of nightmares. It's again. But Short was able to see it. He was able to reverse position. grab his arm, tangle up the leg right there, take him this way. Now on the side. Now we're going to move this. Daniel puts himself in guard, but it's better than being on his back. Isaiah's still on his back. Daniel's still on top. Doesn't change anything. Now Daniel's got to get out of guard because guard is the position where you can score submissions from. Oh, shoot. Right here. Right here. Guard is the place where you can score submissions from. So, he gets up, postures up. That's what you do. When you're in that position, posture up. You throw shots. He's throwing some shots now. Ground and pound, grinding him in. It's not much he can do from this position. So he moves, goes. Look at this ground and pound here. There's a space on the side. Ground and pound. Gets up. There we go. We continue. He's standing up. All the way up. Now, Daniel's out of guard. Look at this side position. This is a very, very bad position for Isaiah Short. Because look at the shot. Once again, I was telling you about the shots. And the ground and pound. Boom. So we continue. He's out. This position right here has got to be one of my favorite positions from top. Mounted crucifix. As you can see right here, Daniel's leg is controlling his arm right there. And now what Daniel can do, he has an arm to control his other arm, and then to ground and pound him. It's just a great thing to do. I mean, I would think that more people would do this because it's such a dominant position. It is kind of difficult to get on some people, but here, right here, this is just a great thing. Ben Askren would do this all the time in 1FC, and it was just the key to his dominance. So right here, look at that. Control right there. Control, throwing strikes to the shoulder. Now, these are not to the head. These are to the chest and to the shoulder. Very close, though. Very close to being illegal strikes. But as you can see, they're not. So right here, Isaiah's trying to get an inverted triangle. But there's only about 10 seconds left in the fight. So, it's hard to say. Doesn't get it. Daniel's on top. And then he finishes the fight off with some huge strikes to the body. And that's it. Daniel Johnson, by unanimous decision. You can see. He wins the fight. There you go. That was a tremendous display of dominance by Daniel Johnson. And I look forward to seeing him fight in the future. That was just amazing dominance, quick turnaround from the clinch position in his first fight. And now, here we are. He's got to win now. And I'm excited to see his next fight.